Ever been called the good kid? The responsible one? The one who never caused trouble?
Sounds like a compliment, right? But for millions of adults, that simple label is actually a silent life sentence. We're diving into the lifelong damage of being the good child.
This archetype is the quiet, high-achieving people pleaser who built their entire self-worth on external approval. If this resonates, stick around, because the cost is crippling. The good child is the one who learned, usually subconsciously, that their needs were secondary to the family's stability. Their job wasn't to be a child, it was to manage the emotional environment. This turns you into the mini-adult, the fixer, the emotional regulator, and that leads to the first major trauma, emotional repression. You learned that emotions like anger, sadness, or boundary setting were disruptive, so you tucked them away, deep down, because happy children don't cause problems, right? As an adult, you struggle to identify what you actually feel. Someone asks if you're okay, and the automatic, instantaneous response is always, "I'm fine." This chronic masking leads to severe anxiety, burnout, and often physical sickness, because the body is screaming what the mouth has been forbidden to say for decades. The second major trap, the paralysis of perfectionism. Your worth was tied entirely to flawless achievement. An A- feels like total failure. The fear isn't of failing the task, it's of failing yourself and losing that sacred good child status that makes you feel worthy of love. This results in chronic overwork and intense difficulty delegating. Think about setting boundaries. Do you struggle to say no? The good child believes no equals bad, equals unloved, so you stretch yourself thin until you inevitably snap. This lack of boundaries brings us to relationships. Because you're trained to anticipate needs, you attract people who need you, not people who truly see you. You become deeply resentful. You gave 150%, but when you needed 10%, you got nothing. But here's the kicker. You never asked for the 10%. Why? Because asking for help is an admission of failure. It's an admission of not being good enough. You've been wearing this perfect mask for decades. The world sees the stable, successful person. But you see the exhausted fraud underneath, constantly waiting for the moment someone finds you out. This is imposter syndrome rooted in childhood trauma. So, how do we break free from this powerful, internalized identity? The healing process requires 3 steps, starting with awareness. You must acknowledge that the good child script is not your identity. It was a survival tactic, and that tactic is now outdated. Step 2. Reintroducing the body. Repressed emotion lives physically. Start small. Check in with yourself hourly. What physical sensation am I having right now? Tension? Hunger? Restlessness? And the third crucial step, practicing disapproval. This sounds scary, but you need to deliberately risk minor disapproval. Say no to a low-stakes request. Leave a task 90% perfect. Let go of the rope. Realize that not everyone will like you, and that is perfectly, wonderfully okay. Understand that your true self, the imperfect, messy, boundaries-having adult, is far more valuable, resilient, and lovable than the flawless performance artist you played for so long. If this video opened your eyes, please share your thoughts below. What was the hardest part about dropping the good child label?